Hello, welcome to the course of building an OpenAI LangChain app in Python. In this course, I will tell you how to build an OpenAI LangChain app in Python, and I will give you a full coding example of developing a YouTube analyzer app. First of all, we will start with how to install Python. Then we will install VS Code on Windows operating system. Then we will set up a project structure in VS Code. I will also tell you how to sketch the UI using the Excali draw tool. I will also teach you how to initialize a Get repository. Then we will go to introduction to the streamlits in Python. I will tell you what is Streamlit, what are the main advantages of the Streamlit, and then we will install and run the Streamlit. The next thing that we will do is use the Python pytube library for accessing YouTube videos. I will have an introduction of the pytube library, and then we will access the YouTube videos using the pytube library. I will tell you about different methods of the pytube object. We will go to the coding. The next thing is to retrieve the transcript from the YouTube video, and we will use the YouTube Transcript API to get the transcript of the YouTube video. Then I will introduce you with a very powerful framework, and that is the LangChain. The next thing we will do is to get an OpenAI API key to use the OpenAI API modules in our app. And the next thing is the main fun part of the course, and that is to analyze the YouTube video transcript. So we will take the YouTube video transcript and will give it to the LangChain and OpenAI model to analyze it. Then we will create a web interface for the app using the Streamlit, and then we will go to the final version of the app to have an elegant user interface. The next thing is to publish the app on the GitHub to share it with other users or with your team. And the final thing will be to publish the app on a cloud hosting service. We will see different hosting options, and then we will select render.com to host our app. Now let me give you a brief demo of what we will develop, what will be our final product. At the end of this course, you will develop an app which will look like this. This will be the final product. Now the app will run in the browser. This is a web application in which the user will be asked for a YouTube URL. This is the YouTube URL which the user will copy and paste it over here. So for any YouTube video, if he or she want to analyze it, he will copy and paste it over here and click on the submit button. Now this is the thumbnail image. It will be taken by the app, and then analysis is in progress. The app will analyze the video, and in few seconds it will give a brief summary of the video. So if you have a 2 hours video, a brief summary will be provided in this form by the app. You can modify this app for any other purpose you want. This is just an introductory application. So you can develop your own apps using the LangChain and OpenAI model. So I hope you will enjoy this course. Thank you very much. Now let's see how to set up a project structure in Visual Studio Code for a Python project. Open the Visual Studio Code. click on the open folder. Now for my project, I will create my folder as YouTube Analyzer. It's better to have it with Z, and I will select it. So this is my main folder. Yes, I trust the authors. Here is the welcome page. I can close it, or I can click on the new file. Let me close it. Now, before writing any code, I will set up a virtual environment for a Python project in Visual Studio Code. Now, for that, I will open the terminal by clicking on the terminal over here, new terminal, and it will open my current directory in which I am. Here I can give the terminal commands. Now the first thing you need is to create a new virtual environment, and that can be created by the command python m-m venv, and then you can give over here name of the environment. So I will give it venv. This can be anything x, y, z, but to remember it, I usually give it venv. It is creating a virtual environment for me. The virtual environment has been created. Now the next step is to activate the virtual environment that has been created. Now that will be done by writing venv, which is the subfolder that I have created over here. This is the name of the folder, and then I will give the command scripts \activate. So here it is. If you see over here, the prompt changes and we have activated the virtual environment. The next step is to configure your VS Code to use the virtual environment, and it can be done by going to the view and then the command palette, and in the command palette you select Python and select interpreter over here. Now the interpreter over here, you need to select the interpreter from the virtual environment, and if you see over here, it has shown as the first option, and it is a recommended option, so I will click on it. So in this way I will select the Python interpreter for my project. Now let me write my first code. So I will click on the new file option over here, and I will say app.py. This is the file name, and the simplest program is a hello world program. So I will say print hello world. And when I click on the run button, I will see the output over here. You can either you can click on the run icon at the top, or you can run it by the command python app.py, and it will run the program. So this is how to set up a virtual environment for a Python project in Visual Studio, and how to run your first program in Python using Visual Studio. Thank you very much. In this tutorial, I will quickly go through how to install Python on a Windows machine. Go to the Python main website, that is the python.org in your browser. Click on the downloads, and you will see the first option over here, download the latest version for Windows. Now the available version now is the 3.11.3. So I will click on download and download the setup file. It takes a while. It has been downloaded. Now I will run the setup. Since I have already installed, it is asking me for the customization. I will say install now. Yes, and it will start the installation process. Here it is, setup was successful. Close it. Now I have installed Python on my computer. The next step is to verify the Python installation, and that can be done from the command prompt. So I will open the command prompt and I will give the command python -- version, and when I click enter it, I will get the Python version over here. If it means that the Python is successfully installed on my Windows operating system. So that's it. This is how we can install Python on our local computer. Thank you. Now I will teach you how to install VS Code on Windows 10 operating system. You can either go to the Visual Studio Code website, or you can search in the Google by typing Visual Studio Code. Here is the main website, and on the first page you will get the option for downloading for the Windows. Click on the download the file. It is 88 MB file for the current version of the Visual Studio, so it will take some time. So here we have the VS Code user setup file. Run the file, accept the agreement, click on next. Just have the default options, click on next, and then install. So here we have installed VS Code successfully on our Windows machine. When I click on the finish, we have the launch Visual Studio Code option selected. When I click on the finish, Visual Studio Code will be launched on my Windows operating system. So here it is. Thank you very much. Before start coding, it's good idea to sketch the UI on a piece of paper. You can either take a pencil and paper, or you can use a software, Excali Draw Online, which is a very simple application in which you can sketch the UI. So I will use excalidraw.com to create the UI. You can go to the Google and search for the Excali Draw, and here's the first option. Click on this, and I will click on open. Sorry, you will go to the top left corner and open the drawer and reset the canvas. Now for this application, first of all, I need a title. So I will select the text and I will select the extra large font, and over here I will write the title, YouTube Analyzer. YouTube Video Analyzer. So this is the title which will come. The next thing is a short text over here, which will be a small, it will be a short description, and I will say provide YouTube URL. I will analyze it and give you a brief summary of the contents of the entire video within no time. So here it is. The next thing is that we ask the user to enter a URL. So I will say over here YouTube video URL, and it will be a text box over here. So I will say a text box in which the user can enter the URL of the YouTube video. The next thing is that I need a button, and in the button I will say analyze video. Once we click on this option, the video thumbnail should be displayed in as an image over here. So the image will come over here, and at the end the video will be analyzed and it will be displayed. The text will be displayed over here. So here the text will come after analysis of the video, and that's it. So we have a title, then we have a text. After the text we have a text input, then we have a button, and when the button is clicked, the image, the thumbnail of the video URL will be displayed to confirm to the user that this particular video is going to be analyzed. And at the end over here, a summary of the analysis of the video will be displayed. Now this will be implemented in Python using the Streamlit. So in the next lecture I will tell you how to create a Streamlit in Python. Get repository is important for several reasons. For example, version control, collaboration and teamwork, and a rollback of any changes or undoing changes or branching and experimentation. So in this video I will tell you how to use the or initialize a get repository for your Python project in Visual Studio. This can either be done from the command prompt or from the user interface of the VS Code. If you want to do it from the command prompt, open the terminal window, and in the terminal window give the command git init, and it will initialize a repository. The next thing is to add the files or commit. To add all the files to the repository, give the command git add and dot. It will add all the files to the repository. Now you need to commit changes to the repository, and that can be done by the git commit command. git commit dash m, and you can give any text over here. That is the initial commit, for example. And with this command, all the changes will be committed to the Git repository. All these operations can also be done if you look at the left side of the screen, and here it is the Git command. Now this is a local repository. The next thing is that you can set up a remote repository and can connect your local repository to the remote repository. Now for the remote repository, you need to go to the GitHub. If you don't have an account in the GitHub, go there, open the browser, and in the browser click on select the github.com. Since I already have an account, I have these repositories, so I will click on the new repository. If you don't have an account, you create your account, and I will give the repository name as, for instance, Udemy YouTube Analyzer, or I can simply say YT Analyzer, YouTube Analyzer. I will make it public and click on the create repository. So if I go, it will automatically create some files for me. If I go to my account, I will see the repositories over here. There are 14 repositories, and the YT Analyzer is over here in my repositories. Now the next step is how can I connect this local repository to my repository online. Now our next step is to set up the remote repository and connect the current repository to the remote repository. Now we can again do it by two methods. The first one is by using the command prompt, and the second one is from the user interface of the VS Code. So I will do it from the command prompt because it is a little bit difficult than the user interface. So you will be able to do it from the user interface very easily. Now the first thing that you need to do is to connect the current repository to the local repository to the remote repository, and that is by the get command. And we will add get and then remote, add origin, and then here we will give the repository name. So I will go to the GitHub and will copy this URL from the GitHub. This is my repository, and I will paste it here and click on enter. So it will add the remote repository to my project. Now the next thing is to push the current contents, the local contents, to the remote repository, and that will be done by the get push command. So I will say get push -u and then origin master. Now this will commit everything to the master branch. So it means everything is up to date since there was no changes. So the update didn't took place. If I make some changes in my project, here is some change. Now we have change in the project. If I save it, now there is one commit. So I will add the commit. Now I will do it from the user interface so that you also understand how we can do it from the user interface. So I will commit it, and in the commit you have to write the commit message, what changes you have made. So I will say some small change in the message, for example, and then I will say commit. Here I will say yes, and the next thing is to sync the changes to the repository. I will say sync, and the local Git repository will get synced with the repository on the GitHub. Now let me see if there is some change in this repository. Over here I will say, if I go to the main page, these are my repositories. I have 15 repositories, and if I click on the YT analyzer, which is the current repository I have updated, you will see over here in the app.py file there is some small changes in the message, and it is just updated. So if I click it and open it, it will reflect the changes that I have made. So in this way you can put your programs and your project files online in sync with your local machine. So if you want to have a collaborate with other team members, you can share the GitHub repository with them, and it also it reflects the current changes. It will be very useful when we deploy our apps online. So keep in mind, this is very useful for having an up-to-date app online. Thank you very much. Before diving deep into our application, let me introduce the pytube library of Python that will be heavily used for accessing YouTube videos. Now, the pytube library is a Python package that provides a simple and convenient interface for interacting with YouTube videos. So if you want to interact with YouTube videos, you need this pytube library. It allows you to download YouTube videos or extract metadata like the author or number of views, etc., retrieve captions, and perform other operations related to YouTube videos. So it's actually a very useful library in Python for accessing YouTube videos. Now let me introduce you some attributes of the pytube YouTube objects. And the first one is the title. That this attribute is used to return the title of the video. Similarly, we have a length attribute which returns the duration of the video in seconds. Then we have the author, we have the number of views. For rating is used that returns the average rating of the videos. The thumbnail URL returns the URL of the video's thumbnail image. Description returns the description of the image, publish date, keywords, video ID, and streams. So these are the different attributes of the pytube YouTube objects. There are several methods like getStream, which retrieves a specific video or audio stream based on the provided parameter, such as resolution or file format. And there is another method, getHighestResolution, that returns the highest resolution video stream in which the video stream is available. We have another method, getAudioOnly, which returns an audio-only stream of the video. And the streams.filter filters the available streams based on specific criteria. Similarly, we have the check availability method that checks if the video is available or it has been removed from the YouTube. Now let's code it. Let us see how can we use the pytube library in our Python code. So I will open my folder. My folder name is YouTube video analyzer. I'll close it. For the time being, I will just delete everything from here. Now the first thing that I need to install is the pytube library. I will install it from the pip install pytube, or I can give it in the requirements file. I will give it pytube, and then I will say pip install -m dash r, sorry, and the requirements file. Now the next thing is that I need to import. So from pytube I will import the YouTube. Now the first thing that you need to give to the YouTube is the YouTube URL. So I will initialize a variable YouTube, for example, URL. This is any variable, and here I will give the URL of the video. Let me I will copy and paste the YouTube video URL over here. Now I will initialize a variable. For instance, the variable is YT, and I will call this YouTube object. I will say YouTube, and over here I will say YouTube URL. Now this YT object will hold information about this YouTube video that I have given over here. Now if I need an if condition over here, that if it is a valid URL, then I will say if YT, it means that if the object is not null. So then what I need to do, I will say print YT dot title, for example. Let me give it over here something like title, so that I know what is this. Now if I run my code, so here it is. We have title of the video, that is how to send SMS in Flutter. Let me just open this video and see if it is like that. Yeah, it is over here, how to send SMS in Flutter. So this is the video. Let me mute it. Now let me read you some other information about the video as well. So I will just copy it and let me grab the number of views, for example, and the author and a description. These are the different attributes that I mentioned before. So I will write over here views. This is the author. This is the description. Let me run it. So there are 1268 views. The author is Town Coder, and there is no description. Let me see if there is no, there is some description is here, but it has not been retrieved. Okay, so this is how we can get the basic information about the video in Python. You can also enclose this in a try block in order to catch any error. So I will say try, and then I will put all these coding under the try block, and then accept. And over here I will say print, for example, there is some problem. So I have enclosed this in the try catch block. It will do nothing. Now let me give an invalid URL over here. For instance, I will delete something and add some. So this is an invalid URL. Now let me run the code. So here is an exception, and the exception method is there is some problem. So this is how can you use the pytube library to access YouTube videos and get some basic information about the videos. In the next video, we will use the YouTube API and I will tell you how to retrieve the transcript from the YouTube video. So stay tuned. In this tutorial, I will tell you how to retrieve transcript of YouTube video in Python, and we will do this in Python. Now we will use a Python library that is the YouTube Transcript API. Now let's code it. I will open my projects folder. Here it is. Now let me delete everything I have. Now the first thing I need to do is to go to the terminal and activate my virtual environment as usual. Sorry. This is VENV. Sorry, the directory name is VENV scripts and then the activate command. So here we have activated the virtual environment. Now the next thing is to install the YouTube Transcript API. So as I told you, I can write it in the requirements.txt file. I'll say YouTube underscore transcript underscore API, and then I can run the pip install command with dash or option to take the libraries from the requirements.txt file and install it. So here it is. Now once you install the transcript API, YouTube Transcript API, you first of all need to import the pytube as I did it before. Sorry, pytube, and from the pytube I will import YouTube, and the next is from YouTube Transcript API import YouTube Transcript API. Now I need to give a URL, so I will say YouTube URL. This variable will hold the URL of the YouTube video. Then I need to grab the ID of the video, which is usually this number. If you see over here, this one. So I will take the ID. So I will put it in the variable video ID, and then from where I will grab it, I will say YouTube and YouTube URL as an argument, and I will call the video ID attribute. So over here I will take the ID of the video. The next thing is to take the transcript. So I will say the transcript, and this transcript is in the form of the object. Use YouTube API dot get transcript, and I will give it the video ID because I need the transcript from this particular video. Now this transcript will be in the form of an object, and then I need to put it in the text format. So I will say text transcript over here and initialize it to a blank with nothing inside in this variable. Now this transcript is divided into segments, and I can go through each segment and then put the transcript in the text. So I need a for loop over here. So I will say for segment. Here you can give any variable name, X or Y, any. In transcript, this is the variable which I have defined over here. This is the transcript. So for segment in the transcript, what I will do, I will say the text transcript. We have already available text transcript, and we want to append to it the segment, and we need to take the text from the segment, and we also want to have a character space. So here is a space after each segment. Now the transcript is, let me tell you, it is divided into different segments, and these segments are retrieved one by one, and between these segments I will put a blank a character space. Now once this for loop is executed, the transcript will be in the textual format and it will be stored in the text transcript variable. Now I can do whatever I want to do with this text transcript variable. So I will say text transcript, I will only print it. So this is the entire code. Let me run it. Oh, here it is. You see, this is the video. Now let me open the video. Let me show it to you. This is the video, and if I open the subtitles, you will see over here the subtitles are coming on the screen, and if you go to the text, it will actually be the text which is shown over here. So in this way you can give URL of any YouTube video and you can retrieve its transcript. So this was the second step that we did in our projects. Now remember that for this particular script we need only two libraries, that is the pytube and YouTube transcript API. So at this stage, if I remove the Streamlit, there is no need for this. We need only these two libraries. So that's it. Let me just revive this entire program. We will first of all import the two libraries. Then we will grab the URL of the YouTube video, put it in the variable YouTube URL. Then from this URL we will grab the video ID, which is every video on the YouTube has a unique ID. So this ID will be taken over here and stored in the video ID variable. Then this transcript will be taken from for this particular video ID, which will be in the form of an object, and which is divided into different segments or different captions, and then it will be retrieved by using this for loop, and it will be stored in the variable text transcript in the form of the text, and at the end I will just print the text. So that's all. Thank you very much for watching. We will be using LangChain for developing our AI application. Before putting hands on coding, let me introduce you with LangChain. What is LangChain? We will go to its website and see from there what is it. Go to the website langchain.com, and since we will be using Python for our project, go to the Python documentation. Now over here you see the LangChain is defined as it is a framework for developing applications powered by language models. We believe that the most powerful and differentiated applications will not only call out to be a language model, but will also be data aware and agentic. Now data aware means that you can connect a language model to other sources like your own database or your company data or any other data you provide to the LangChain. And it is agentic. It allows the language model to interact with its environment. It means that it is not only working on the data, but it is actually acting on the data. You can use companies' large historical data, and you can apply the machine learning models to have an AI model for the data of the company. Smaller businesses can also benefit from the LangChain and the AI model used by the LangChain. If you well understand this LangChain model, you will have greater opportunities for the AI projects and for even for the smaller companies and even for the smaller and the larger companies. So let's have a deep look into it. We will have an understanding of the different modules of the LangChain which are there in this library. A quick start guide is also available in which you can see how can we install the LangChain, how to set up the environment variables, and how to build a language model, that is the LLMs. So everything is available over here. It's quite good documentation available on its website. You can consult it yourself. So let's come to the main page and we will come to the modules, and these are all the modules which are in the increasing complexity. For instance, the models module is the simple one, then is the prompts memory. So these are all the modules available in the LangChain. In the quick start guide, there are instructions for installation, then the environment setup, and then using the LangChain model. So we will go in the next lecture. I will tell you how can we install and we can work on the LangChain model. So stay tuned. For using OpenAI models and other modules, we need OpenAI API Key. In this presentation, I will tell you how to get OpenAI API Key. Open the browser. In Google, you can either search for the OpenAI API Key, or you can directly go to the URL platform.openai.com. Now you need to sign up in the OpenAI platform to get the API key. Since I am already registered, so I will click on the login and I will continue with my Google account. So here is the main page. Now we have different options over here in this website. You can go to your account and from your account click on the view API keys. So these are the API keys. Click on the create new secret key. Give it any name, for example key number 2, for example, and create the secret key. Now you see over here API key generated. You need to copy it and store it in a secure place, because when you click on the done, you will not be able to see this API key again. So this is how we get OpenAI API key from its platform. Thank you very much. Now we come to the fun part of our app, and that is integrating OpenAI with LangChain. Now, as we discussed, LangChain is a powerful framework designed to simplify the development of large language model applications, and it enables developers to seamlessly integrate LLMs with real-world data and workflows. And it provides a single generic interface for various LLMs, prompt management, chaining, etc. This framework allows LLMs to solve real-world problems more effectively by incorporating external data sources and orchestrating the sequence of interactions with different components. So we will be using 4 packages in our app. The first one is LangChain, the other one is OpenAI, the Chroma DB, and TikToken. Now let me give you a brief introduction of these packages. LangChain is a package. It is the main LangChain library which facilitates seamless integration with OpenAI models for creating interactive chat experiences with text documents. So this is the main package that is used. The OpenAI is the official Python package for OpenAI's API. It enables you to work with the powerful language models provided by OpenAI such as GPT-3 or GPT-4. The third one is the ChromaDB, and ChromaDB is a lightweight, high-performance schemaless vector database designed for use with AI applications. It allows you to store, retrieve, and manage vector data required for your LangChain and OpenAI Power documents that application. And the last one is the tick token. And tick token is a utility library provided by OpenAI that helps you count and manage tokens in text strings without making API calls. This is very useful for monitoring token usage, staying within API limits, and efficiently working with the OpenAI's models. So these are the 4 packages that we will be using. Now the model that we will use is that we will have a text document. This is how our app will work, and the text document will be given to a text splitter, which will divide the large text document into chunks, which will be then given to the embedding generator, and the embedding generators will create a vector database. A vector database is a numerical representation of the text, and which will be created. Now whenever there is a query to the database, it will go through this embedding generators, and when the question is asked using the Q&A model, it will not be asked by the normal GPT-3 or GPT-4, but instead it will take into context this vector database, and the answer will be provided. So let's go to the code and see how we are going to use our own text document to create a summary or to have some questions from the text documents. So we will go to the Visual Studio Code. I'll open Visual Studio Code. Here I am, and I'll click on the open folder. Let me go to the Python projects, and over here I will create a new folder, and I will name it chat with text, or chat with your text document, and I will select the folder. Let me close this. Now the first thing that you need to do is to get the text document which you want to include in your project. So I will go to the Google, and I will search for the state of the union address. Here it is. You can take any text document, but since this is mainly used in the state of the union addresses are mainly used in the example, so I will take this Barack Obama state of the union address of January 12, 2016. You can take any one. Let me take the President Joe Biden this March 1st, 2022. Let me take this document. Now here we have the PDF version and we have the text version. So I will download the text version. Here it is. I will say Control A to select all and Control C, and then I will go to my project and I will create a new document. Let me name it as for example, my text doc.txt, and I will just copy it over here. So if you see at the top, this is administration Joseph R. Biden, JR 2022, and this is the address before the joint session of the Congress on March 1st, 2022. Let me save it. So this is the document that we will be using. Now the next step I want to do is to import all the libraries. So I will click on the new file. I'll click on the new file and I will say requirements.txt. Over here I will now this is actually the step number 1. So let me comment it. This is step number 1, and the step number 1 is to install the packages. And as I told you, I need the LangChain package. The LangChain package, it is the main LangChain library. The other one is the OpenAI, which is the official Python package for OpenAI's model. The third one is the ChromaDB, and which is for creating a vector database. And the fourth one is the tick token, which is used to count and manage the tokens. Let me save it. Now I'll go to the terminal, and in the terminal, as you know that you need to go to your environment. So I will first of all create my environment, python -m venv virtual environment, and I will also name my virtual environment as venv. You can give it any name. Yes. It may take some time to create this virtual environment. Now I will activate the virtual environment venv and scripts \activate. So it is activated. Now let me install the packages. So I will say pip install -r requirements.txt. So it will install the 4 libraries that I have mentioned in the requirements.txt file. Now that we have our text document and we have installed our libraries, the next step is to read the text file and put it in the vector store database. So I will create a Python file and I will create the code. I will write the code to read from the text file and write it into the vector database. So I will name it create vector db.py. Now the first thing I will do is that I will import the necessary library. So it is actually the step number 2, because the step number 1 was the installing the packages, and the step number 2 is import necessary libraries. Import libraries. Now the first library that I will import is LangChain dot embeddings dot OpenAI dot, and from this I will import OpenAI embeddings. The next library that I will import is from LangChain dot text splitter. Import character text splitter. The third one is from LangChain dot vector stores. Import chroma. And the last one is import OS. So this was step number 2. Step number 3 is, after importing the libraries, is to set up the OpenAI API key. And you will set the os.environment variable of OpenAI API key, and here is your OpenAI API key, and I have told you how to get this OpenAI API key. You will go to the platform of the OpenAI and you will get this key. So this was step number 3. Sorry, I forgot 3 over here. Now the step number 4 is to open and read the contents of the text file. So open and read text file. How can we read it? I will say with open, and here I will give name of my text file. So I will say my text doc.txt, and I will say is F. You can give it any name, and then I will say state of the union, or you can give it any name. For example, you can say over here text doc or text is equal to f dot read. So it will read the text, this file, and put it in this variable, in this object. Now the step number 5 is to create instance of the character splitter. Step 5 is create instance of character splitter. Let me put it down, and this can be done by the command text splitter. I will say text splitter is equal to character splitter, and then I have to give a chunk size. So I will say chunk size is equal to, let me give it a chunk size of 1000, and chunk overlap chunk underscore overlap is equal to 0. I don't want any overlap. And the step number 6 is to split the text into chunks. This is the text splitter, and then I will convert this text into chunks because it cannot read the entire text. It is a large document, so I need to convert it into chunks. So in the step 6, I will split the text in chunks. And the chunks will be texts. I will call it as texts, and text is equal to, let me give it some space, text is equal to text splitter dot split text. And which text I want to split? I want to split the text doc which I have read over here. So I will divide this into chunks. I will split this in, so the entire document will be stored in this list of the texts. It will be splitted. So once it is splitted, the next step is the step 7, and the step 7 is that create instance of the OpenAI embeddings. Create instance of the OpenAI embeddings. So I will say embeddings is equal to OpenAI embeddings. This is step 7, and step 8 is create instance of the Chroma objects. Create instance of the Chroma objects. Now over here I will say this is any variable. For example, I will say document search is equal to Chroma dot from texts. So you will give it the texts over here. So I will say the first one argument is the text. You want to create the object. The next one is the metadata. So I will say metadata is equal to, let me close it in the object. So over here you first of all need to give it a source, and the source is actually the text chunks. I will say F, and this is text chunk of I. And what is this I will show it later. Of length of texts, and then for I in range of length of texts. So it will loop through the length of the text. It will, so how many texts we have? Let me change it to the texts, not text. So this is the second argument. The second argument is the metadatas, and the third argument is the persist directory, and in the persist directory you will give it the name of the database. Let me give it the name simply as DB. So it will be stored in this vector database. So all the data which is over here, it will be read from the text, and it will be stored in this vector database. And the next thing is to store the database on the in your app. So the step number 9 is to make it persistent. So I will say persist the Chroma object to specific directory, and the directory is DB, as I have mentioned over here, DB. So over here I will say doc search dot persist. Now this will make it persistence. And the third step is to clear the doc search variable. I will say step number 10, and this is to clear the doc search variable, and I will simply say doc search is equal to none. So that's it. Now what this code is doing, that it converts this my text document, this document, into the vector database, and it is stored as the DB on your machine. Now let me run this code and see what happens. So I will say over here Python and create vector db, sorry, .py. There is some error. Let me check it. Import cannot import the name OpenAI embeddings. There is some spelling error. OpenAI embeddings over here. Too many D's. Let me save it and run it again. There is some error, and it is saying that line a text LangChain model. The text splitter dot split text is equal to dot split text. Let me check it. That it is over here. Text splitter dot split text. There is also an error over here again. Let me try it again. Now there is an error, Unicode decoder error. Char map codec can't decode 0x9 that position. This character maps to undefined. So there is a character which is not readable. So I will take another file, and let me take this another file and paste it. This is the Barack Obama address, I think. Yeah, this is address before a joint session of the Congress to the State of the Union, January 12, 2016. And this is the Barack Obama speech on this date. Now let me save it and check it. Let me clear it. So I will run it. Now let us see. Now it is creating. You see, it is creating chunk of size this and this. No embedding for using the default embedding function this. Hugging Face transformer this. This one, let me check again. Now since I have already created a database on this name, let me change now let me run it again. So here we are, we have created the DB from our text file using this code. Now the next step that we will do is that we will use our AI model to summarize or to ask questions from our own text document. Now that we have installed the necessary requirements, that is the libraries, and we have created a vector database from the text file, which is shown over here in the directory structure you see over here. The next step is to query this database, the vector database. Now for that I will create a Python program, app.py. Now as usual, the first step one is to import the libraries. So I will say from LangChain dot chains. I will import the retrieval Q&A with sources chain, and from LangChain I will import OpenAI. From LangChain dot vector stores I will import Chroma, and from LangChain dot embeddings dot OpenAI I will import OpenAI embeddings and import OS. Step 2 is to set the OpenAI API key, and step 3 is to create the OpenAI embeddings. In the step 4 I will instantiate the Chroma instance. So I'll say over here step 4 as Chroma, and the persist directory is db. Now remember that this is the name of our vector db. You can give it any name over here. Sorry, it is over here, name of the db. So we are reading data from this db, so we need to give the persist db as db, and embedding functions are embeddings. If you don't understand this, you can just go through it very quickly, and you can later learn from the documentation what all these means. Now the next thing is to create the retrieval Q&A sources chain. So the chain is the from the OpenAI, the temperature is 0 and the chain type is stuff, and the retriever is the dog search as retriever. This is the dog search, so we will retrieve this, the chain, the data from this retriever. And here comes the second last step, that what you want to do from this chain. So in the step 7 we will give the question. Step 6, in the step 6 we will give the question to our db. So I will say the user input, you can say the prompt. Now here is the main question you want to ask. For instance, I will say give me a brief summary of the speech. This is the question, and we want result for this. So in the step 6 I will get the result, and it is user question to Q&A. I will submit this to the Q&A system. Over here I am going to submit this query to this system, to this chain. So I will say result is equal to chain, and over here I will say the question, sorry, the question is the user input, and return only outputs is equal to true. I want only the outputs. So we will have result of this question from this chain, and it will be stored in the variable result. You can simply print the result, and I will say print the result is, for example, plus result of the answer. I need the answer for this object. Now that's it. So let's run it. Let me save it. Now let's run the Python code. Python app.py. Let's see. So it should summarize the. Sorry, there is a problem. Chain retry in 4 seconds. That's it. So we got it. We got the summary of the State of the Union address in these 4 lines. In this final State of the Union address, President Obama discussed the importance of upholding duties as a citizen, such as voting and speaking out. So, congratulations, we have now our text document and we can now interface with it using our chat GPT. So let's revisit what we have done so far. Now, the first thing that we did is that we installed the required packages, that is the LangChain, OpenAI, ChromaDB, and TikToken. And the next the first one was that we had this text file from which we want to have the query. The second step was to install the libraries. The third step was to create the DB. It is the vector database. We have this create vector db.py file, and the final Python file was app.py, in which we were able to query our text file and get the results. So that's it. We will move forward and we will now convert this application into a Streamlit, and then we will connect different pieces of our app. That is, we will take the YouTube video, read the transcript from the video, and pass it to the LangChain, and then we will query the LangChain. So thank you very much. Stay connected. In previous lecture, we used a text file and gave it to the LangChain in order to get answers to our questions. Now, in this video, we will analyze YouTube video transcript, give it to the LangChain, and see how it works. So let's go to the coding. Now, the first thing you need to do is to install the necessary package. So I will go to the requirements and install the pytube library, and the next library that we will be using is the YouTube Transcript API. We already did this in our previous lectures. I am repeating this again just to give you a better idea. The next thing is that I will install it. So I will say pip install -r requirements .txt. Now we will create another Python file and I will name it as YouTube transcriptor. .py. Now what this file is doing, what this program is doing, that it will take the YouTube URL as an argument and will give me a transcript in the form of the text. Now the first step that I need to do is to import the libraries. So from pytube I will import YouTube. Let me check who is the problem. And from YouTube Transcript API. I will import YouTube Transcript API. I will add a YouTube URL, so I will create a variable YouTube URL. And this is equal to, let me grab a URL from the, I will take any URL. Let me take it from here. Here it is. I will select this video. I will copy it and paste it here. So this is the YouTube URL that I want to analyze. The next thing is that I need to grab the video ID, which is this part of the video. I will say video ID is equal to YouTube of video URL and video ID. Sorry, this is so this video ID will take video ID of this URL and put it in the variable. After taking the video ID, I need to grab the transcript. So I will say transcript. This is any variable name. Transcript is equal to YouTube transcript API dot get transcript, and over here I need to give the video ID. So this is the video ID. Now this statement will extract the transcript from this video ID and put it in the object transcript. Now this is in the form of the objects, so I need it to convert it into the text format. So I will create a variable text transcript and initialize it to blank value. Now this transcript is in the form of the segments, so I need to iterate through all the segments and take the text from this transcript and put it in the text transcript variable. So I will have a for loop for segment. You can give it any variable name. For segment in transcript, I will put it in the text transcript variable. I need to append it plus equal. This is segment of the text because I want to extract the text from the segment, and between each segment I need a space, so I'll put a space over here. Now this for loop will take the transcript and put it in the text form in the text transcript variable. When this loop is executed, I can just print it. I will say print text transcript, and let me check it. So this is the code which will take this YouTube video and get the transcript in the form of the text. Now let me check it. First of all, I will save it. Python and YouTube transcriptor.py. So here it is. I have the transcript in the form of the text over here displayed on the screen. Now what I need to do is that I need to pass this transcript to the app, to the create vector DB. I will put it in the DB. So I will make over here a function def get transcript, and I will return text transcript. That's it. I don't need this statement anymore. So this will return the text transcript. Now, as I told you, we don't need this file, but instead we will take this transcript and put it in the DB. So I will go to the create vector DB py file, and instead of writing open and read the contents from the text file, I will modify the step 4, and I will say take transcript from YouTube video. And how I will take? First of all, I will import it. Import YouTube transcriptor as trans, for example. Now, if I come again over here, I will just remove this, and text doc, I will say this is equal to trans dot get transcript. So this is the only change. So instead of reading from the text file, I will get the transcript from the YouTube video. Now let me run the create vector db.py program. I will say Python create. But before creating the DB, you need to delete this DB because it already has some data. So I will say Python, and then I will say create vector underscore db.py. So it is creating the vector database. The vector database has been created, and now I will run my app.py and see in the app.py I will say in the question, I will say give me a brief summary of the speech. I will say for example, I will say summarize the contents. For example, summarize the contents in, for example, 4 lines. This is my question. I'll save it. Let me run it. Python app.py. Yeah, here it is. A woman is making her own coffin to be buried in, as she has been diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. She is using the project to cope with her illness and to show. So the video has been summarized in 4 lines by this app. Now, if you go to the video over here, this is the video, and this video has been summarized by the app. This is a 25 minutes video, and it has been summarized in 4 lines by the. So this is how the app works. Now let me recap the entire app again. We have the requirements file, requirements.txt file, in which we need the packages. So we imported installed the pytube and YouTube transcript API. The next step was the YouTube transcriptor.py file, in which we gave the URL of the video which we want to analyze. We took the video ID from the URL, then the transcript was retrieved in the transcript object. Since this was an object, we need to convert it into text file. into text, sorry. So it was converted into the text transcript. And then we had a function def get transcript to return the transcript to the caller. So that's it over here for the YouTube transcriptor. Then we went to the create vector db file, in which we made only one change, and that is to check first of all we imported the YouTube transcriptor.py file as trans, and then we called the function that is the trans.get transcript to get the text document and create the vector db over here you see. Now once the vector db has been created, the next step is to use it. So in this app.py file we had a question for the text for the transcript that summarized the contents in 4 lines, and we got the contents in 4 lines over here. So this is how we retrieved the transcript and analyzed it using our program. In the next lecture, we will refine this and we will put things together in order to have a full functional app. We will develop our app using Streamlit in Python. So let me give you a brief introduction of the Streamlit. Now, what is Streamlit? It is an open source Python library that simplifies the creation of interactive web applications for data science and machine learning projects. Now, Streamlit allows you to transform your Python scripts into visually appealing and user-friendly apps without requiring extensive web development knowledge. So you don't need extensive web development knowledge to develop a visually appealing web app. This is the power. Now, the main advantage of the Streamlit is the first one is the simplicity, and the Streamlit offers a straightforward and easy to understand API that enables developers to quickly build applications with just a few lines of code. It follows a declarative programming style where changes in the code automatically triggers the app. So it's very simple. The next advantage of the Streamlit is the rapid development. And with Streamlit, you can prototype ideas and iterate quickly. The live reloading feature allows you to instantly see changes as you modify your code, making the development process highly efficient. The third advantage is that it is reactive and real-time updates. Now, Streamlit automatically updates your app whenever there are some changes in the underlying code or input. The reactive behavior ensures that your app stays in sync with latest changes, providing a seamless user interface. The fourth advantage is that it has a wide range of widgets and a variety of widgets, built-in widgets such as sliders, buttons, drop-downs, and text inputs that enables users to interact with your app and control its behavior. These widgets make it easy to create dynamic and interactive apps. The fifth one is the seamless integration with Python libraries. Now, the Streamlit integrates well with popular Python libraries for data manipulation, visualization, and machine learning such as pandas and other libraries. This allows you to leverage the power of these libraries and easily incorporate their outputs into your apps. And the sixth advantage is the sharing and deployment is very easy with Streamlits. And Streamlit simplifies the process of sharing your applications with others. You can easily deploy your apps to a cloud service or host it on your own server. Now, Streamlit also provides the feature called Share that allows you to publish and share your app as a web page without any server setup. So these are the few advantages of using Streamlit. As a overall, we can define Streamlit as it empowers data scientists, machine learning engineers, and developers to create interactive and engaging web applications with minimal effort, enabling them to focus on the core functionality and insights of their projects. So it was a brief introduction of the Streamlits. Now in the next session, I will tell you how to install and run Streamlit in the VS Code. Thank you very much. Now we will go through the step-by-step procedure of how to install and run Streamlit. Open your project folder and make sure that you are in the virtual environment. So I will go to the scripts. Let me clear the console. So we will activate the virtual environment by going through the virtual environment. This is the name of the folder of my virtual environment. Then write the scripts. Then give the activate command. Now I have activated the virtual environment. The next step is to install the Streamlit. So the Streamlit library. So I will say pip install Streamlit. And it will install the Streamlit library. Now, when the Streamlit library is installed, we need to import it in our program. Import Streamlit as st. Now, instead of print statement, we will write st.write. Now, let me just delete these words. So it's just a simple hello world application. How can we run this Streamlit? We can run this Streamlit. Let me clear the console. We can run this Streamlit by the command Streamlit run, and then name of the program app.py. Sorry, there is typing mistake. Streamlit. Now it will run our Streamlit in the browser. So wait for it. Here we have So here we have our first Streamlit. We have the hello world message over here. Let me give you a title in the Streamlit. I will go back to my program and I will say st.title. Let me give it a title YouTube video analyzer, for example. And when I save it, it should automatically, now when I save it, you see over here these changes, source file change, and when I click on rerun, the changes will be reflected in the Streamlit. So this is how we run Streamlits in Visual Studio Code. This was our first Streamlit. Now let me just give you a brief introduction about the requirements.txt file. All the libraries that we install, it is a good idea to keep it in single file, and that is and the file name is requirements.txt. Let me check if the spelling is okay. Yeah, so over here I will say in the requirements.txt file I will say Streamlit. Now all the libraries, they are listed in this single place, so that if the programmer don't need to remember it, it is now the other advantage is that we will need it for the hosting when we install our app on hosting service. So we have a requirements.txt file. Now how can we install the libraries from the requirements.txt file? There is a simple command in the VS Code, and let me apply that command, and it is installed by running the pip install -r requirements.txt. So it will install all the libraries which are listed in the requirements.txt file. Again, sorry, there was some typing mistake, so it gave me the error. Let me save it and run the program again. So it will install all the libraries. Now in this way we can run streamlits in VS Code. We will go further in our app using the Streamlit. So stay tuned. Thank you very much. We created different components of the application in Python. Now we are going to create the web interface using Streamlit. But as I told you before designing any interface for our application, we need to draw the sketch of the interface on a piece of paper, or we can use the Excali draw application. So I will use Excali draw to draw the user interface on the screen, and then we will code it. So this is the main interface. I will go to the excalidraw.com website, open the drawer, reset the canvas, and I have blank screen. First of all, I need to put the title. So I will say YouTube video analyzer, and over here I will put in some small, and say provide YouTube URL, comma, I will analyze it. So let us see how can we create the final version of the app. Now, in order to save time, I have already developed the app, the final version of the app, and I will go through all the code and tell you how I did it. So before going into the details of the code, let me run the app. So I will go to the terminal and I will give the command streamlit run app.py. So it will run the app. Now when the app is open, it comes with two inputs from the user. The first one is the input text and then a submit button. So the user need to copy and paste the YouTube URL in this text input, and when I click on the submit button, it will give me the thumb image, and then it is saying reading video contents. So first of all, it will read the video contents and then it will analyze the contents. Now it is analyzing. It takes some time to analyze. And here we get the brief summary of this video. So this is the video. This is the thumbnail image, and here we have the brief summary of the video. Now let me tell you how we can code this. So I will go to the coding. Now the first thing that you need to do is to install the necessary libraries. So you need to install LangChain, OpenAI, ChromeDB, TikToken, pytube, YouTube, Transcript API, and Streamlit. I have not made any changes in these except adding the Streamlit in this app. This is all what we did in our previous lecture. Now, in order to make clarity in the code, I have made four .py programs. The first one is the app, which is the main program which will use the other components. Now, first of all, we need to read the YouTube transcript. So for that, I have created YouTube transcriptor.py, and this file, it has only one function, and that is the get transcript function. In YouTube transcriptor.py, you need to import from pytube the YouTube and the YouTube transcript API. And we have only single function in this program, and that is the get transcript, and it takes the YouTube URL as the argument and returns the text transcript to the calling program. Now first of all, we need to take the video ID. We already learned this in our previous lectures. Then we need to read the transcript using the YouTube transcript API.getTranscript. We have to give the UID, so it will take the transcript and put it in the transcript object. Now, in order to convert it from the objects to the text, we need the for loop. I explained to you in the previous lecture how we can do this. So once we have the transcript, then it returns the transcript to the calling program. Now, how we did it, if we come to the app.py over here, we have imported OS, we have imported Streamlit, and all these we already did this in our previous lecture. So first of all, you need to import these libraries, the TextRep, requests, bytes IO, image, YouTube, and create vector DB. This is my own Python program, so you have to import it. And then the first thing that you need to do is to, first of all, I will say the set page to layout to wide, because I want the wide page. Now this st.setTitle, it will put the title over here. So the YouTube video analyzer you see over here, this is the title. The next thing is the set st.write provide YouTube URL. So this is displayed over here. This is the a brief description. The next thing is the, I want to clear the cache. You can just delete it. There is no need for the time being now. Now I have created two columns. I have divided the screen into two. That is column 1 and column 2 is equal to st.columns 1 comma 1. What does this mean, 1 by 1? It means that the screen is divided equally into two columns. So the size of the left one is 1, and this tells you the ratio of the division. If you say 1 by 2, this will be the ratio of 1 by 2, or if you say 1 by 1, then this will be equally divided. So again, if I come to the screen, this is divided, this is column 1, and this part is column 2. The next thing, we have a few functions over here. This is a function which will only be executed when we call it. I will straight away come to the column 1. With column 1 means that whatever I put it over here in this, it will come in this column 1. This is column 1. So I will say video URL is this. I'll take the video URL from the text input, and I disable it if there is no input. For instance, if there is no entry, if this is blank, then the submit button is disabled. So this check is for this option. So st.button, when the submit button is clicked on, click analyze video. So when somebody clicks on the submit button, it will go and execute the analyze video function. So I will come over here, the analyze video, it will come over here. So when this submit button is clicked, it will come to the analyze video function, which is over here. So it is executed now. Now what is it is doing with column 1? It is, first of all, it is taking the thumbnail, and then it is putting an image, taking the image from the response, and then it displays the thumbnail. So st.image of img, it displays, this statement displays this image for us. Now moving forward with column 2, now we come to with column 2 because we now want to have everything on in column 2. So it will say with st.spinner reading video content. So it will have a spinner for us. Let me run it again. So this is the spinner reading video contents over here, if you see. And then when it reads contents, we are creating the database. So I will say my db.create db function, and where is my db? It is in the create vector database. This is my db. I have imported it over here. Import create vector db as my db. So my db.create db, I will, if I click on this function, it will come over here. So this is the create vector db file. It also has only one function, and we did this in our previous lectures. First of all, you need to have the OpenAI API key. Then you need to get the transcript from the video URL. You see a trans.get transcript, because this is I have imported the transcriptor over here. I told you it will call the function from here, get transcript. So it will get the transcript and put it in the state of the unit. This is any variable. You can put give it any variable name. Then you need to split the text of the chunk size. I have given 1000, and when the text is splitted, then you need the OpenAI embeddings to create a directory, to create a database, that is DB. So this doc search, it will create a vector database, and to make it persistent, that is to store it on the hard drive, make it persistent, you call the persist function, and then you clear the database variable. So this is how the create vector DB will work, and how we will create the database, how we will create the vector database. So the first thing that we did over here was to create the vector database. Again, here we don't need this statement. I think I will delete this. Then when this when this function is completed, the next step is to analyze the DB, the vector database. So I will say over here with st.spinner analysis in progress, please wait. Now when the database is created, it will come over here. Let me do it again to tell you how it works. Let me submit it again. You see it is saying reading video contents and then analysis in progress. So it is over here now, analysis in progress. So I will say over here I will put my query. So what is my query? Summarize the content and give me a brief summary. So this is what I'm using the ChatGPT model to summarize the contents of the video. This is my main prompt over here. And in the response, I say analyzer.getAnalysis. Analyzer is again my own Python file. I will, if I click on the get analysis with control and click, again this file has only one function, and that is the get analysis, and it says the result is equal to chain question user input and return only outputs is equal to true, and the result is answer. And here is the how the first of all how the chain is created. The first thing we need to do is to import the libraries. Then we need to set the OpenAI API key. Then we create the embeddings variable, and then we have access to the database. So this is the vector database, which is a chroma DB, and it is accessed through the chroma object, and then it is chained with our request over here, and we can ask the question over here. So from this we call the get analysis, and we pass this query as an argument to this, and when the response is received, sorry, again we don't need this statement. We put the subheader st.subheader. When this is completed, we put the subheader over here. This is the subheader, brief summary, and then we say st.write text wrap fill response with width 50. We wrap it because there will be multiple lines, so we wrap it over here and we get the result over here. So this is how the entire system works. So with this we have our final version of the app. We have successfully developed a YouTube video analyzer using LangChain, and the code is also available on the GitHub. I have provided the link in the lecture. You can clone the code and you can work by your own. Now you can modify this application, and you can write many other applications like this using LangChain and LangChain model and OpenAI. I hope you have enjoyed this tutorial. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask me. I'll be more than happy to answer you, and I'll come up with some more videos about, or some more video tutorials about LangChain and OpenAI in future. So thank you very much for attending the course. Thank you very much. See you in the next course. Bye bye. Now that we have finished our app, let me tell you how can we publish it on the GitHub. So go to the github.com. You need to create an account if you don't have an account. Since I have already have an account, my account is open. I will click on the new repository, and over here I will say give my repository name. So I will say YouTube Video Analyzer. Yeah, this is available. I'll make it as public. I will leave everything as default, and I will say click on the create repository. So it will create a repository for me. It will tell me how can we create new repository, how can we push code into it. So I will leave it. If I go to my account, this is the URL of my repository. Now this is my account. I have 16 repositories over here, and here I have the, let me check where it is. Here is YouTube Video Analyzer. Here is the repository. Now the next step is to push the contents from my file, from my project, into this repository. This can be done by clicking. This can either be done from the command prompt, as I told you before, or we can do it from the menu. First of all, I will initialize a local repository. I will say OK. Here it is, and then I will commit the repository. So I will say over here, this is the final version, for example, and then I will say commit directory, commit directory. Yes. Now this is committing the changes. It will take some time, and these changes will be committed to the local repository. Now once we have the local repository created, we need to publish this on the GitHub. So we will click on the publish, and then over here we need to give the URL of our GitHub project. So I will again go to my GitHub, and this is the repository that I want to update. I will copy it from here and put it in here. Click on enter. So it is uploading the files published to GitHub. Now it is uploading. It again will take some time. Let's wait for it. Now our project have been successfully published on the GitHub repository. Here is the message. You can open it on the GitHub. Here it is. We have all the files, and you can now share your code with anyone using this link. So this is how we add our project files to the GitHub repository. Now we come to the final part of our course, and that is publishing the app on a hosting service. We have different hosting options. You can host your Python app on Google Cloud, or you can also host it on Amazon. You can host it on render.com or Heroku. So we have different options, but I have only considered only these four. I have selected render.com. So let's see how can we install our Python app that we just developed on render.com. Open the browser and open the render.com website. Since I have already signed in, I have signed up, so I will sign in with my Google account. Now here is the main dashboard of render.com. Click on the new button and then select the web service. Now you can connect to a repository. So from here I have to select a repository. Let me select YouTube Analyzer. And you can give it any name. For example, I will say Udemy course, or I can say YTA, YouTube Analyzer. From here you select the branch, which is the master, then the root directory, leave the pip requirements as it is, and in the start command you need to give the command streamlit run app.py. So I will select the free option and let's create the web service. Now it is in progress. It takes some time to activate, just a minute or two. Wait for it. Now it says build failed. The installation has been failed. Exit with status code. This you see the status is failed over here. You see now what the error is, that it says no matching distribution found for tick token. Now I have searched this error, and this is due to the Python version. So you need to upgrade the Python version for this. Now how can we do it? Let me tell you. Select the project and go to the environment, add environment variable, and over here you select the Python version and give the Python version as 3.10.5. Let me save it. Let me go to the manual deploy, and I will say restart the service. Sorry, I'll say deploy the latest commit. Now it is in progress. Let us wait and see. Now it is installing. It seems everything is working fine. So these are the different libraries that are installed on the hosting server. It is deploying now. Build is successful. Now it is starting the service. Starting service with Streamlit run app.py. Let me So your service is live. You can now view your Streamlit app in the browser. Now this is live, you see. So we have successfully installed, hosted our app on the render.com. If we come to the dashboard and we see over here, it says deploy succeeded. And if I click on the project, this is the link that you can share with your users. So when the users click on this link, the link will be opened and the app will be shown on the in the browser. Now let's see. When I click on the open, let's see what happens. Now we got an error, str expected. What is the error? The error is that we have not set the OpenAI environment variable. Now we need, since we have this variable, environment variable, we need to set the environment variable in the render hosting service. So we will come over here. I will come to the app and then select environment, add environment variable. I will say OpenAI key. Since I don't have any OpenAI key now, I will put a dash and click on the save button. Now let me refresh it. Now again it is giving me the same error. I think I need to restart the service, so I will say restart service. Now it is deploying. Wait for it until it is deployed and then refresh it. Now deploy is succeeded. Click again. Let us see. So here we are. We have successfully hosted our app, and here it is. I have made some changes to the app, to the final version, because I don't want to give the OpenAI key in the source code. Any user can give his own AI key over here, OpenAI AI key, and clicks on the submit button to analyze. So that's it. Thank you very much for attending the course. I hope you have enjoyed the course. Thank you very much. Bye bye.